Bruce Lee, then Jean-Claude Van Damme, and then who? After Jean-Claude Van Damme, who is the next?
Beyond the unforgettable one-inch punch that left a lasting impression on people's minds lies a deeper story. Amidst Bruce Lee's meteoric rise to global stardom, there exists a shadow, a tale of intense real-life battles for honor and recognition between Bruce Lee and Bolo Yeung. Now, Bolo Yeung is stunning the world by unveiling the dark truth about this iconic legend. Join us on an exciting journey that promises to revolutionize your perception of these legendary figures. Bruce Lee's eternal impact. Bruce Lee is often seen as the greatest martial artist ever. He was known for his fearless actions, incredible power, and many other impressive traits. These aspects highlighted just how physically fit and powerful he truly was. But Bruce always believed that having a strong mind was just as crucial as having a strong body. He promoted the idea of clearing your mind and learning to let go of stress and unnecessary thoughts.
Empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
While he was alive, Bruce Lee was extremely popular and seemed almost like a puzzle that many couldn't solve. Even after his passing, he remains a fascinating figure. People all around the world are still eager to learn more about the little dragon and try to understand his true nature. In this part, we'll dive into Bruce's character from the perspective of Bolo Yeung, a fellow martial arts actor who knew him well and worked with him closely. Now let's shift our focus to Bolo Yeung. If you're a younger person, born in the time of millennials or Gen Z, you might not immediately know who he is. But for fans of classic action and martial arts movies, Bolo Yeung is a big deal. He's seen as one of the iconic figures in martial arts cinema. He was especially famous for his large, muscular physique, which made him stand out during his career peak. People regarded him as a real-life symbol of strength. His muscular frame was ideal for numerous unforgettable characters in martial arts films. He acted in popular movies such as Legacy of Rage, Double Impact, and Bloodsport. Among his most notable roles was in Enter the Dragon, where he appeared alongside Bruce Lee. Bolo's impressive build was not just for show, it was a testament to his dedication to fitness and martial arts, which aligned with his roles in cinema. His portrayal of strong, intimidating characters left a lasting impression on fans and helped shape the way martial arts villains were viewed in cinema. Bolo Yeung was born in Guangzhou, China on July 3, 1946. His family didn't have much money, and he was a long way from the shiny, exciting world of movie stars. Bolo's childhood happened during a confusing time in China, a place full of changes and people unsure about the future. This made his young life pretty unstable, and he often felt like he didn't have anything steady to hold on to. In these uncertain times, Bolo found something important that would stick with him: martial arts. When he was just 10 years old, he started to learn this traditional form of fighting and self-defense. He was very lucky because he got to learn from some of the best teachers in Kung Fu, which is a famous type of martial art known all over the world. But in China back then, learning martial arts was about more than just learning how to fight or stay fit. It was a big part of the culture, giving people a way to learn about life, stay calm, and keep their thoughts clear. For young Bolo, martial arts became a key part of his daily life. It wasn't just about moving your body or getting stronger. It was also about learning to control your mind and emotions. This training helped him grow up with discipline and a strong focus, important qualities for any part of life. But Bolo didn't stop with just Kung Fu. He also took up Tai Chi, another traditional Chinese practice. Tai Chi is different from the more energetic Kung Fu because it's slower and more about meditation. It's all about calm movements and breathing, helping people find peace and balance inside themselves. Through martial arts and Tai Chi, Bolo found a sense of peace and stability that was missing from the rest of his life. These practices helped him stay centered during the tough times and gave him a strong foundation. They were like a quiet, steady anchor in the choppy waters of his early years. This grounding in martial arts didn't just shape Bolo's childhood. It set the stage for everything he would do later in life, influencing his beliefs, his actions, and even his career. Bolo's life in China was really hard and confusing. The country was going through big changes because a new government, The communists were taking over. This caused a lot of problems, like people fighting in the streets and not treating each other right. Everyone was unsure about what would happen next, making everyday life tough and full of surprises. Bolo really wanted to change his life and hope for something better. He was brave and made a big decision. He went to the part of China that's very close to Hong Kong. Then, in a moment of both fear and bravery, he swam across a river called the Shenzhen River. This was a huge deal because that river is the boundary between China and Hong Kong. By swimming across, Bolo wasn't just moving from one place to another. He was also trying to start a whole new chapter in his life. After Bolo got to Hong Kong, he saw that things were a lot different from back in China. At that time, Hong Kong was controlled by Britain and was known for being open and accepting. It was like a big mix of different people and ideas all living together. In Hong Kong, people from all over the world met and made a community that was full of different colors and flavors. Bolo found himself in a place where all sorts of people were mixing and creating a lively and mixed-up culture. Join Bolo Yeung on his journey in Hong Kong, where he mixes strength and inner peace to become a great martial artist. The unstoppable Bolo Yeung. At this significant turning point in his life, Bolo Yeung developed a strong interest in fitness and bodybuilding. He believed that being strong and fit was essential to being a good martial artist. Bolo took this belief very seriously. By 1969, he worked hard and became known as the Mr. Hong Kong Bodybuilding Champion, a title he proudly kept for an entire decade. But Bolo didn't focus on bodybuilding just to win titles or for his own pride. For him, martial arts was a way to connect deeply with his own soul. By practicing Tai Chi, Bolo learned to mix his physical strength with his spiritual peace, finding a true balance within himself. During this time, the bodybuilding community in Hong Kong was still growing. This made it a perfect place for Bolo to step in and make his mark. He fit right in, but he also stood out because of his dedication and impressive physique. Bolo's body was incredibly well-defined, almost as if it were carved from stone. His remarkable appearance and dedication didn't go unnoticed, and soon his fame began to spread far and wide. This increasing popularity was a key factor in Bolo's entry into the movie industry. At the time, Hong Kong was experiencing a surge in creative energy and talent, especially in the world of cinema. The city was becoming known as a place where filmmakers could express their ideas freely and where new kinds of stories could be told. For Bolo, this creative explosion in Hong Kong's film industry was a golden opportunity. His unique look and martial arts skills made him an ideal candidate for action and martial arts films. People were intrigued by his powerful build and his presence on screen. It wasn't just his physical abilities that got him noticed. His dedication to martial arts and his understanding of its deeper, spiritual aspects set him apart from other actors. Bolo's journey into films wasn't just about showcasing his fighting skills or his muscular body. It was also about bringing the discipline, focus, and philosophy he learned from martial arts and bodybuilding to the characters he played. His roles often reflected the strength and depth of his personal experiences, blending physical power with inner wisdom. As Bolo began to appear in more films, he brought with him the lessons from his past, the discipline of martial arts, the focus required for bodybuilding, and the spiritual balance he found through Tai Chi. This unique combination of skills and philosophy helped him create memorable characters that resonated with audiences. His rise in the film industry was not just a success story of a martial artist turned actor. It was a testament to his lifelong journey of physical and spiritual development. Back then, the movie scene in the country was exploding with excitement. Film companies like Shaw Brothers and Golden Harvest were making a lot of classic action and martial arts films. These films started to become popular all over the world, much like how K-pop is becoming really popular nowadays. It was a time when lots of new movies were being made, and the people making these movies were always looking for new actors who were not only good at acting, but also brought something special to the table, especially in action scenes. Bolo Yeung, with his amazing muscles and knowledge of martial arts, was exactly what these movie makers were looking for. His strong build and experience in martial arts made him stand out. He was just right for the action-packed movies being made during that time. By the end of the 1960s, people who made movies started to notice him and gave him small parts in their films. These parts weren't big, but they were very important. They helped start Bolo's successful career in movies. His big muscles and serious look made him look really scary on screen. And because of this, he was usually chosen to play the bad guys. He played the type of bad guy who didn't need to say much. You just knew he was serious and ready to fight when it was time. Bolo was beginning to get noticed in the world, but it wasn't easy for him. There were a lot of challenges. For one, there were so many people trying to be successful in movies, so it was really competitive. Everyone who wanted to make it big had to work really hard and show that they were truly talented. But there were other problems for Bolo too. One of the biggest ones was the language barrier. Bolo was from China, so when he came to Hong Kong, he had to get used to speaking and understanding a different kind of Chinese, as well as adapting to different cultural ways. This was hard for him, but he didn't give up. This time in the movie industry was tough, but it was also an opportunity. It was a chance for someone like Bolo, who was different and had unique skills, to stand out. Even though he was playing roles, he was learning a lot and getting better at acting and understanding the movie business. Despite the challenges, Bolo never forgot the valuable lessons he learned from his early days in martial arts and bodybuilding. These experiences taught him that success comes from hard work and not giving up, no matter how tough things get. His determination paid off when he finally got noticed by the big names at Shaw Brothers Studios, a very famous film company in Hong Kong known for making some of the greatest classic movies, such as Dolomite and The Five Deadly Venoms. The people running Shaw Brothers Studios knew that a good movie needs a strong villain to make the story interesting. They were looking for someone who could really bring such a character to life, someone who could be serious, strong, and never give up. When they saw Bolo, they knew they had found the perfect person for this role. Bolo had the right look and attitude. He was calm, controlled, and had the kind of discipline that comes from years of training. He wasn't just physically strong, he also had the mental strength that made him perfect for playing the bad guy in movies. This opportunity from Shaw Brothers Studios was exactly what Bolo needed. It was a chance to change his career completely and show everyone what he was capable of. Step into the spotlight with Bolo Yeung as he turns from a real fighter to a movie bad guy making.
So we need the thinking. What is good point? Not only every day.
How did the worst villain become our favorite? In his career, Bolo was part of many films produced by the famous Shaw Brothers studio. He played all sorts of characters, from heroes to complex villains, in movies like The Deadly Duo and Angry Guest. As time went on, Bolo's roles in these movies became something people always look forward to. He wasn't just another actor. His amazing martial arts skills and his strong, noticeable appearance made him stand out. When he played the bad guy, he didn't just stand there looking scary. He brought something extra, something smart and sneaky to these roles. But Bolo's villains were different from your usual movie bad guys. They weren't just big and scary, they were smart and tricky, which made them really interesting to watch. He made these characters deep and complicated, which was something new. People ended up having mixed feelings about them. They were scared of these characters, but also found them kind of fascinating. Bolo didn't just show off his strength, he put real thought into his characters. He made these evil characters seem real and layered. Sometimes he even made the audience feel sorry for them. He was really good at using his body language and facial expressions to show different feelings. Even though he was often the villain fighting against the heroes, he managed to portray his characters in a light that made you understand them better. This skill made his characters stick in your mind and feel more like real people. These villains had reasons for being the way they were, which made you think more about their stories. Bolo's ability to do this added a special touch to his roles, making them unforgettable and giving them a real human touch. In the traditional movie scene, villains were often seen as just hurdles for the heroes to jump over. They were the bad guys the good guys needed to beat to make the story move forward. But when Bolo stepped onto the scene, he changed how people saw these villain roles. He brought a unique kind of appeal to them. turning them into characters that were interesting and complex. His villains were not just obstacles, they became central to the stories, adding layers and making the movies more engaging and thought-provoking. Bolo's approach to playing villains was different because he made viewers think deeper about these characters' motivations and backgrounds. This shift from the straightforward evil characters to ones with more depth and reasons for their actions was significant. It made the movies more than just simple good versus bad tales. Additionally, Bolo's strong and distinct physical presence made his characters even more striking and hard to forget. His performances left a lasting impression, making audiences remember his roles long after the film ended. When Bolo joined the Shaw Brothers studio, he found himself in the midst of the golden age of Hong Kong cinema. He was surrounded by some of the industry's finest, including renowned directors, skilled choreographers, and talented fellow actors. This was an ideal setting for Bolo to refine his acting abilities. He faced the challenge of meeting the diverse expectations and styles of different directors, which pushed him to grow and adapt. Each new movie was an opportunity for Bolo to showcase his versatility and depth as an actor. This environment was not just challenging, it was a breeding ground for creativity and learning. Bolo's time with the Shaw Brothers studio marked a turning point in his career, making him a well-known figure in martial arts films. This era was when he really started to shine and make his mark. A lot of younger actors looked up to him. They wanted to be as genuine and powerful in their acting as Bolo was, especially when playing villains. Also, the people who wrote movies began to think about bad guys in a new way because of Bolo. They saw how he made his villain characters complicated and interesting. So they started writing villains that were more than just simple bad guys. They gave them stories and reasons for what they did, which made the movies more exciting and kept audiences thinking. Bolo's impact wasn't just about one good role. He created many unforgettable characters. Each one of these roles added something unique to the movie it was in and helped shape what people think of when they think of martial arts movies. But Bolo's story in the film world was just getting started, especially when it came to working with other famous actors. In the busy world of Hong Kong cinema, there was always a lookout for new faces and new stories that could grab people's attention. Around the same time Bolo was making a name for himself, another star was beginning to rise: Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was becoming a huge deal in the movie world, especially for martial arts films. He had a special way of moving, a lot of charm, and he knew a lot about martial arts, which made people all over the world like him. Since both Bolo and Bruce Lee were big parts of the martial arts movie scene, it was only a matter of time before they ended up working together. Fans were very excited about the idea of these two movie stars being in the same film. They couldn't wait to see how Bolo's strength and intense acting would mix with Bruce Lee's unique style and energy. Everyone knew that putting these two together in a movie would create something very special and memorable. In a world of rising stars, Bruce Lee and Bolo Yeung meet and start a friendship that changes their lives in martial arts. Bruce Lee's last fight to be a legend. Bruce Lee had a unique beginning that set him apart from many others, including Bolo. He was born in the United States, in California, which made him an American from the start. However, his life took a big turn when he was just a baby. At only 4 months old, he moved to Hong Kong with his family. This move was significant because it introduced Bruce to the world of entertainment early on. His father was a well-known opera actor in Hong Kong, which helped Bruce get into the movie industry as a child. With his family's backing, he began acting in films before he even reached 10 years old. Later, as a teenager, Bruce's life changed direction again. His family had saved enough money to send him back to the United States for better education and opportunities. In April 1959, he landed in Seattle. This move was a fresh start for Bruce, a new chapter in his life. He went back to school and also worked as a waiter in a restaurant, juggling his responsibilities in education. But Bruce didn't just focus on school and work. He had a deep passion for martial arts, something he had been exposed to back in Hong Kong. He started to share his martial arts knowledge with others in the US. He mixed different styles he had learned, like Wing Chun and Kung Fu, to create his own unique martial arts approach. His dedication to martial arts was so strong that he opened his very first training school in Seattle. He wanted to teach others not just how to fight, but how to understand the philosophy behind martial arts. Bruce's quest for knowledge didn't stop with martial arts. In 1961, he took another significant step by enrolling in the University of Washington. He didn't limit himself to just one area of study. He explored arts, philosophy, and psychology. This wasn't just about getting an education. It was about expanding his mind and understanding the world better. Bruce's studies deeply influenced his approach to life and martial arts, making him not just a better martial artist, but a thinker, someone who saw beyond the physical aspects of martial arts to its deeper philosophical roots. Bruce's journey in the United States also led him to new opportunities in acting. He managed to secure roles in American television series such as The Green Hornet, Batman, and Ironside. These parts allowed Bruce to start building his reputation beyond martial arts, showcasing his talents to a wider American audience. His unique approach to martial arts and his emerging acting career were setting the stage for him to become a cultural icon. This period was crucial for Bruce as he was laying the groundwork for his future success, combining his educational pursuits with his passion for martial arts and acting. Even though Bruce was making a name for himself in America, he still felt a strong connection to his homeland. He was very interested in going back to help grow the movie industry there. By this time, the film scene in Hong Kong was getting more exciting and appealing. Bruce felt a deep sense of duty and love for his home country. He wanted to contribute to the film industry there and show the world what Hong Kong could offer. It was during this time that Bruce Lee and Bolo Yeung's paths would finally cross. They first met while working on a commercial for Winston cigarettes in Hong Kong. From their first meeting, there was a strong connection between Bruce and Bolo. They quickly became friends, finding common ground in their interests and goals. As their friendship developed, Bruce saw an opportunity to work with Bolo on a larger project. He offered Bolo a significant role in a new film he was working on, Enter the Dragon. This film was not just any project. It was a major production that had the potential to be a big hit. For Bolo, this was an incredible opportunity. Enter the Dragon turned out to be more successful than anyone could have imagined. To this day, it is celebrated as one of the greatest martial arts movies of all time. The film follows a skilled martial artist who is enlisted by an international spy agency. His mission is to bring down a criminal who deals in narcotics and is linked to the death of his sister. In Enter the Dragon, the main character, a skilled fighter, has to go to a faraway island to fight in a tough competition. This movie was a big deal for many reasons. It wasn't just another action movie. It changed martial arts films forever with its beautiful fight scenes and how the action was put together. It also made a lot of money, earning more than $400 million while it was made with less than $1 million. That's a huge profit. An interesting part of this movie's story is how it gave Bolo Yeung his famous name. In the film, he played a character called Bolo, and after that, everyone started calling him Bolo Yeung. His real name, Yeung Zi, was almost forgotten. During the making of Enter the Dragon, Bolo and Bruce Lee formed a strong bond. They spent a lot of time working together, especially on the fight scenes. They exchanged tips and ideas on how to make the fight scenes look real and exciting. They talked about the best ways to plan and perform the moves so that the audience would believe what they were seeing. Bolo learned a lot from Bruce, and they both respected each other's skills and ideas. There's a famous story Bolo told about their time on the set. One day, an extra who was part of the movie thought he could prove that he was better than Bruce Lee in real fighting. This incident showed how serious Bruce was about martial arts and how skilled he really was. It also highlighted the respect and understanding Bolo and Bruce had for each other as they navigated the challenges of filming a high-stakes martial arts movie. This experience, along with their work on Enter the Dragon, helped shape their friendship and mutual respect, making their collaboration one of the memorable aspects of the film. Discover the deep bond between Bruce Lee and Bolo Yeung, shaped by unforgettable fights and shared knowledge. The secrets of friends in action, Bruce and Bolo. Everyone knows Bruce was super fast in fighting. He was so fast that people said he could hit 8 times in just 1 second. And then there was his amazing 1-inch punch. Bruce made up this punch and got really good at it. He would stand super close to someone and then hit them so hard that they would feel it everywhere. This was special because usually you need to move your arm a lot to make a punch strong. But Bruce could do it from just an inch away. People have studied this 1-inch punch a lot because it's so unusual. They found out that when Bruce did this punch, it moved as fast as a car on the highway. That's really fast. And it was so strong that it could send a big person flying back like they were light as a feather. Bruce got this fast and strong by working out a lot and very hard. He cared a lot about being quick, powerful, and able to keep going without getting tired. After Bruce died, which was a very sad day in 1973, his friend Bolo said something very important. He said no one would ever be like Bruce Lee again. Bolo felt very lucky to have been Bruce's friend. And he was right. Lots of people have tried to do the 1-inch punch like Bruce, but nobody can do it exactly the same. It's like Bruce was one of a kind, a real original that nobody can copy. It looks like there won't ever be someone like Bruce Lee again. When the day was over, Bruce and Bolo had a very special friendship. They really looked up to each other. Both were big stars in martial arts and helped make it popular. They were like brothers, always helping and teaching each other to be better in their sport and in making movies. Together, they made a movie that people all over the world love and remember. Bolo became very famous because of his friendship with Bruce in their movie. When Bruce passed away, Bolo was heartbroken. Bruce was more than just a buddy or someone he worked with. He was like a mentor, someone who inspired Bolo to reach higher levels in martial arts. But after Bruce's sad death, things changed for Bolo. The movie they made together, Enter the Dragon, was a big hit, and suddenly everyone in Hollywood knew who Bolo was. This was a big deal for any actor. Because of his strong connection with Bruce and his own skills in acting and martial arts, Bolo started getting lots of new chances to act in movies. This time was tough, but also important for Bolo. Losing Bruce was very hard, but it also made him think about his own path in martial arts and movies. He realized how much Bruce had taught him, not just about fighting, but about being dedicated and working hard. This helped Bolo keep going and keep improving in his career. He made a big splash when he started acting in Hollywood. He brought something new to the table, a mix of martial arts styles from both the East and the West. His big break came with the 1988 martial arts movie Bloodsport. Even though this film didn't have a huge budget, with just $1.5 million, it became very popular. Jean-Claude Van Damme played the hero, Frank Lux, while Bolo was the tough guy, Chong Li, a champion in secret fight competitions. Bolo was perfect for this role. He was really good at playing the bad guy, but at the same time he could show off how well he could fight, how strong he was, and how good he was at acting. As Chong Li, Bolo was scary and strong, making him a perfect enemy for the hero of the movie. Everyone loved how he played this role. Just like in his earlier movie, Enter the Dragon, Bolo became even more famous. Working on Bloodsport, Bolo got to know Van Damme. They both respected each other's skills a lot and became good friends. This friendship was special, and Van Damme even asked Bolo to be in his next movie, Double Impact. After that, Bolo was in lots more movies. He showed that martial artists can be big stars, which encouraged many others to follow in his footsteps. Even though Bolo has stopped acting now, he's still a big name in martial arts. Many of today's top martial arts stars say Bolo inspired them. They look up to him because he was one of the first to show that martial artists could be successful actors too. He broke barriers and showed that with hard work and talent, you could become famous worldwide, not just as a fighter, but as an actor too. Bolo's journey from martial arts to movies has inspired a whole generation. He wasn't just a fighter, he was also a pioneer who mixed different fighting styles to create something new and exciting. His roles, especially in Bloodsport, showed how diverse and powerful martial arts could be. Did Bolo Yeung's story about Bruce Lee solve a big mystery, or just add more to the rich history of martial arts? What do you think? Comment below and hit like and subscribe for more.